5 years ago, I bought this massive 200-acre piece of land out in rural Oregon. I mean, untouched forest, rugged hills, and smack in the middle of a 30-acre lake, clear as a sapphire dropped from the sky. No roads, no utilities, no neighbors for miles. Just pure, wild peace, the kind of place most people only dream about. And honestly, that's exactly what I wanted. I made my money early on in Tech One, successful exit, and I was out of the game. My plan was simple: disappear from the chaos of city life, buy a piece of paradise, and live off-grid. So, I built a small cabin right on the southern shore of that lake. Solar panels on the roof, satellite internet humming quietly, a well I dug myself for water. I stocked the lake with trout, spent weekends fishing, kayaking, reading, all wrapped in silence, just the way I liked it. Heaven, right? But then, like termites in a wooden cabin, Blackwood Ridge showed up. Blackwood Ridge was this luxury development popping up on the ridge west of my property-gated homes, sleek modern architecture, and HOA board members who treated their polo shirts like battle armor. We weren't exactly neighbors, more like two parallel worlds bumping up against each other. At first, it was quiet. Then came Richard Vance, their president. Smooth talker, all smiles, saying how much their community would love to have access to the lake. I politely declined. Then he tried to buy my land 3 times. The last offer was $1.2 million. I laughed in his face and showed him the gate. Not my finest moment, but yeah, that happened. He didn't take rejection well. For months, I thought that was the end of it, but man, was I wrong. One morning, I woke up to the distant roar of engines. Stepping onto my porch with a coffee, I saw bulldozers tearing through my land like a nightmare unfolding in slow motion. They cleared a 50-foot swath through the northwest tree line, right where a narrow creek ran out from the lake. I drove over, furious, demanded answers. The foreman shoved a county development permit in my face, naming Blackwood Ridge, HOA, as the applicant. Their plan? An eco-resort cabins, boat dock, shared water recreation area right on my land. I was floored, totally blindsided. The HOA argued the creek feeding my lake started in their territory, flowed through my land, so the lake was a regional water asset, not just mine. Some obscure statute about shared waterways and underutilized natural resources. And guess what? They never notified me. Not once. I called the county, got stonewalled. Called a lawyer. And that's when things really started heating up. Enter Martha Hayes. Martha wasn't your average real estate lawyer. She was a shark in a tailored blazer. When I told her what went down, she raised one eyebrow, then smiled and said, "Let's burn them to the ground." I liked her already. Within 48 hours, she filed an emergency injunction. Bulldozers stopped cold. I camped out near the site with a shotgun more to send a message than anything else. The HOA retaliated fast, suing me with claims of historical access rights and watershed integration. Their arguments were garbage, but with money and county connections, they dragged me into court every other month for 2 grueling years. They insisted because the creek historically passed through their land into mine, they had recreational claims. Total nonsense, but it ate up my savings like wildfire. By year 2, I'd sold my cabin and was living in a trailer on the property just to keep fighting. Then Martha called with news that flipped the whole case. She found something wild in the old land records, a creek feeding the lake, completely man-made, built back in 1957 by the original owners to divert runoff for logging. The whole watershed argument the HOA was making, dead on arrival. That meant not only did I own the land, but I also own the lake and every single drop of water flowing through that artificial creek. Martha grinned like she just found buried treasure. The court agreed within 6 weeks. The HOA's permits were revoked, construction dead in the water. Victory, right? Not quite. Just before the ruling, I got a call from Elias Grant, CEO of Aquaprime, a tech firm specializing in ultra-pure water for semiconductor fabs. They were building a $7 billion facility near Eugene, Oregon, and where my legal battle reached a friend on the county commission. Elias wanted to talk about the lake. Apparently, the water quality was perfect for microchip production, low sediment, mineral content just right, cold year-round. He offered me $50 million for the land and water rights. I paused then and had a better idea. Martha and I worked with Aquaprime for 6 weeks to draft a custom contract. Instead of selling, I leased them the water rights for 99 years, $32 million a year, adjusted annually for inflation. Aquaprime got full access and control of the land around the lake to protect environmental integrity. My peaceful hideaway turned into a high-security industrial water Cercino boats. No fishing, no tourists, and definitely no HOA. Word spread fast. Blackwood Ridge's resort dreams vanished overnight. Investors bailed, property values dropped 40% in a single quarter. Aquaprime put up fences, cameras, drones, patrols no one in or out without clearance. Their fantasy lakefront was gone. Richard Vance tried to sue again. It went nowhere. Then came the audits. Turns out the HOA had been misappropriating funds to Grease County approvals. Vance was charged with fraud, stepped down in disgrace, vanished. The HOA imploded. Residents fled. Some homes sold at half price, others stood empty. The ridge that once looked down on my land like royalty became a ghost town. Today, I live in the Bahamas. I check my Oregon account once a year, usually on my birthday. Like clockwork, $32 million lands with a quiet ping. I still own the land. Aquaprime just leases it. Sometimes I fly back on a private plane to visit. The trees have grown taller. The water stays crystal clear. Signs now read, restricted industrial water, source no access. Sometimes I smile seeing those signs. It's not just about money, it's about principle. Fighting back when powerful people think they can take what's yours just because they have lawyers and connections. They try to steal my lake. I made them regret ever trying. Don't mess with a man's lake, especially when he has nothing left to lose and everything to gain. So what do you think? Was it justice or just business? Should a lake be owned like a bank account? Or should nature be free for everyone? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to share this story if it moved you. More real-life stories like this are coming. Subscribe and stay tuned for the next chapter.